Have you ever noticed that the more you chase a man, the less he seems to care? It's frustrating, right? You text first, you make all the effort, yet he pulls away. The more you run after someone, the faster they run away. What if I told you that chasing men is the biggest mistake you could be making, and that the moment you stop chasing, everything changes? Most people won't tell you this, but the secret to attracting the right person isn't about doing more. It's about doing less. The real power comes when you master detachment, when you stop worrying about whether he texts back, when you stop overthinking his actions, and when you focus on yourself instead of him. But how do you actually do that? How do you switch from chasing to being chased? This is exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'll share 7 powerful ways to stop chasing men and master detachment, so you can feel confident, valued, and in control. But here's the catch. Most people will click away too soon and miss the most important parts. Don't make that mistake. Stay with me till the end, and I promise you, you'll see relationships in a completely different way. Now, before we get into how to stop chasing, let's first understand why you do it in the first place. Because the truth is, if you don't know the root cause, you'll keep repeating the same pattern. So why do you feel the need to chase? It's not because you love the thrill of the chase. It's because you're afraid of losing him. Maybe you think if you don't text first, he'll forget about you. Or if you don't keep the conversation going, he'll lose interest. And deep down, a part of you feels like if you don't try hard enough, he won't choose you. But let's be honest, has chasing ever worked? Has texting him non-stop ever made him love you more, or did it push him further away? The more you chase, the more he takes you for granted. The harder you try, the less valuable you seem. And that's because people don't appreciate what comes too easily. Think about it. When something is rare and hard to get, it's seen as valuable. But when it's always available, it's taken for granted. So if you've ever felt like you were giving your all but getting nothing in return, it's time to change the game. And the first step is realizing you are the prize, not him. The biggest mistake women make is putting men on a pedestal. They overthink everything. Does he like me? Will he text me back? Did I say the wrong thing? But here's the truth. You are the prize. And the moment you believe that, everything changes. Instead of thinking, I hope he likes me, start asking, do I even like him? Instead of worrying about what he thinks, focus on what you want. Look at the most confident, attractive women. They don't chase. Why? Because they know their worth. They walk into a room knowing they bring value. And that energy makes men want to chase them. So here's your first challenge. Start seeing yourself as the prize. The next time you catch yourself overanalyzing a man's actions, stop. Instead, ask yourself, is he showing up for me the way I deserve? If the answer is no, then why are you wasting your time? When you shift your mindset, you automatically stop chasing, because when you know your worth, you don't beg for attention, you attract it effortlessly. You might be losing him because you're giving too much too soon. And I get it. When you like someone, you want to show them how much you care. You text first, you make plans, you go out of your way to make them happy. But what happens? Instead of appreciating your effort, he pulls away. Why? Because you're overinvesting. You're treating him like he's your priority, while he's treating you like an option. Think of it this way. Imagine you give someone a gift every day for no reason. At first, they might be excited, but after a while, they expect it. They stop appreciating it. And if one day you don't give them a gift, they get annoyed. Why? Because when you overgive, people stop valuing what you bring. It's the same in relationships. If you're always texting first, always available, always doing the work, he has no reason to step up. You should match his energy. If he texts you once a day, you don't send 5 messages. If he takes 3 hours to reply, you don't reply in 3 seconds. If he makes no effort to see you, you don't rearrange your life to fit his schedule. The key is to mirror his effort. If he's putting in 30%, you don't give 100%. Because a healthy relationship should feel balanced, not one-sided. When you pull back, when you stop overgiving, he will notice. If he's truly interested, he will step up. And if he doesn't, then you just saved yourself from wasting time on the wrong person. The more you love your life, the less you will chase men. Think about it. Why do we chase? Because we make one person the center of our world. We wait for his text. We adjust our plans around him. And suddenly, our happiness depends on what he does. But that's dangerous, because no one should have that much power over your emotions. Instead, you need to become the most exciting person in your own life. Start a new hobby, travel, focus on your goals, spend time with friends. Create a life so full that you don't have time to sit around waiting for a text. Have you ever noticed that people who are genuinely busy and happy are naturally attractive? That's because they have something that many don't, a sense of purpose. Men respect women who have their own lives, because when you are fulfilled on your own, you don't need anyone. You simply choose who gets to be part of your life. And that energy, that's magnetic. So from today, I want you to stop making him the main character in your story. Make yourself the priority. When you do that, you won't just stop chasing. You'll start attracting the right people effortlessly. Who is more interesting? Someone who overshares everything about their life right away, or someone who keeps a little mystery, making you curious to know more? The answer is obvious. Mystery creates attraction. But most women make the mistake of being too available, over-explaining, and constantly updating a man about their thoughts, feelings, and daily routine. They think that by being open and always responding instantly, they're building a connection. But what actually happens? The man loses interest. Why? Because when something is predictable, it becomes boring. If you're always available, if you're always responding immediately, there's nothing for him to wonder about. And when there's no mystery, there's no excitement. Silence is powerful. You don't need to answer every text right away. You don't need to explain why you're busy. You don't need to post everything on social media. Sometimes the best way to make someone notice you is to pull back and let them feel your absence. Think about it. When someone suddenly stops being so available, you notice, right? You wonder what they're doing, who they're with. That's exactly what happens when you stop oversharing and over-explaining. So, from now on, try to be a little unpredictable. Let him wonder what you're up to. Let him reach out first. Let there be moments of silence, so he actually misses you. Because when a man has to work to figure you out, he values you more. One of the biggest reasons women chase men is because they are too attached to the outcome. They meet a guy and suddenly their mind is already thinking ahead. What if he's the one? What if this turns into a serious relationship? And because of this, they start acting out of fear. They overanalyze his texts. They stress when he doesn't reply fast enough. They overthink every little thing, and before they even realize it, they've put this one man on a pedestal without even knowing if he's actually worth it. But here's the truth. Attachment leads to desperation, and desperation kills attraction. The most confident and desirable women are the ones who have this mindset. If he stays, great. If he goes, that's fine too. Either way, I'll be okay. Because they don't obsess over a man's every move because they trust that the right person will stay effortlessly. They don't chase because they know their value. They don't try to force things because they believe that what's meant for them will come naturally. So, from now on, I want you to practice detachment. Stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. Stop replaying conversations in your head. Stop worrying about where things are going. Instead, live in the present moment. Enjoy the interaction without overthinking the future. Because the moment you let go of the need to control the outcome, you will feel free. And ironically, when you don't need a man to stay, he will be more drawn to you than ever before. Think about this. Have you ever felt anxious when he doesn't text back? Do you start overthinking when he becomes distant? Do you feel the urge to confront him, double text, or demand answers? If so, you're letting your emotions control you instead of the other way around. But here's the truth. A high-value woman does not let a man's actions shake her peace. Men test women all the time, sometimes without even realizing it. They pull away to see how you react. They become distant to see if you'll chase them. And the second they notice that you're emotionally unstable, that you can't handle silence, or that you need constant reassurance, they lose respect. So what should you do instead? Stay calm. If he pulls away, let him. If he doesn't text back, don't panic. If he acts differently, don't immediately assume the worst. Instead of reacting with emotion, respond with confidence. The most attractive thing you can do is show that nothing phases you. A man should feel like he can't easily affect your mood. When you have emotional control, you send a powerful message. I am secure in myself. I don't need anyone to complete me. So next time you feel triggered by something a man does, take a deep breath and remind yourself, my peace is more important than his attention. This is where everything changes. If you want to stop chasing men for good, you need to set higher standards, because the truth is, many women chase men not because they truly want them, but because they accept the bare minimum. Let's be real. How many times have you held on to a man just because he gave you a little attention? How many times have you settled for inconsistency, mixed signals, or breadcrumbs of effort? How many times have you lowered your standards just to keep someone around? Here's what you need to realize. You set the tone for how people treat you. If you accept inconsistency, that's what you'll get. If you allow a man to come and go as he pleases, he will. But if you make it clear that you only entertain men who respect, value, and prioritize you, everything shifts. A high-value woman walks away the moment she sees a red flag. She doesn't beg for love. She doesn't tolerate half-effort. She doesn't try to prove her worth to a man who can't see it. And the best part? When you raise your standards, you naturally stop chasing, because you realize that a man who truly wants you will meet you at your level, and the ones who don't, they're simply not worth your time. Nothing will change unless you do. You can hear all the advice in the world, but if you keep making the same mistakes, overinvesting, over-explaining, getting attached too quickly, lowering your standards, then you will keep attracting the wrong people. But now you know better. You know that the most powerful thing you can do is shift your mindset, to stop seeing men as a prize and start seeing yourself as the prize, to stop chasing and start attracting, to stop needing constant validation and start giving it to yourself. And when you do this, When you practice these 7 ways consistently, you'll notice something incredible happening. Men will start treating you differently. They will respect you more. They will value your presence. And most importantly, you will feel a new level of confidence and peace that you've never felt before. So now the question is, are you ready to finally break free from chasing and step into your power? If this video helped you, let me know in the comments which tip resonated with you the most. And if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Remember, you are not meant to chase, you are meant to be chosen. And the moment you start believing that, the right people will start chasing you.